Hey everybody, so I just wanted to do a quick video tonight because I had something burning in my spirit that I wanted to share with you guys. And so I will go ahead and say if this message encourages you, please feel free to share it, like it, leave me your comments. I want to hear your thoughts as well. But I was thinking today about Bill Cosby, and today he was sentenced for 3 to 10 years in prison for sexual assault. Previously, he had been found guilty back in April of this year of 3 counts of sexual assault and drugging and molesting a lady. And Bill Cosby is 81 years old, and most people know Bill Cosby from The Cosby Show. And I was reading someone's post today on Facebook, and they had asked, what are your thoughts about Bill Cosby? And I was reading the comments to see what people were saying. And I was trying to form my own thoughts, my own opinion, and just really try to come to some kind of grips with what I was thinking or feeling about the situation, and I felt conflicted. I felt very conflicted. I felt conflicted because I love The Cosby Show. I still watch the reruns. I grew up watching The Cosby Show. I love Heathcliff Huxtable and Claire Huxtable and their family. Heathcliff and Claire are hashtag relationship goals. Their family is hashtag family goals. And so I love the Huxtables. I love the Cosby Show. And I think that I was conflicted because, you see Bill Cosby portraying this character all of these many years. And you start to think that you know a person, even though he's a celebrity and a public figure and an actor, you think that you know a person. You think that because they play a character, you assume that maybe there's some similarities with their character and their real life persona or who they really are in real life. But Bill Cosby and Heathcliff Huxtable are two different people. Bill Cosby is a real life person. Heathcliff Huxtable is a fictional TV show character. And so excuse me, I was sitting here thinking this, and this is just what God is beginning to show me through this situation. A lot of times people in general, we have assumptions about actors and actresses and athletes and those in the public eye, celebrities, government officials, pastors, preachers. We have this assumption that because they have the title, that they also have the character. But what God continues to show me is that just because a person has a title does not mean that they have the character. The person can be talented but not have the character. A person can be anointed and not have the character. They can be gifted and cannot have the character. They can have the oil, as we like to say, and not have the character. Proverbs 18:16 says that your gifts will make room for you and bring you before great men, but it never says anything about your character, which leads me to believe that you can be gifted and talented and anointed and not have the character that you need to have to sustain yourself in that position or with that title. And so my prayer is just really for all of us who feel that we have a great call on our lives. There are many of us who may be watching and you feel like you've always felt like you were different. You always felt not in a haughty way or not in a way that you feel superior, but you've always felt that there was a great call on your life, that you were destined for greatness, that you were destined to do life-changing things for millions of people around the world, that you were destined to be an influencer, that you were destined to just be great, that you were destined to, do things beyond what your family members have done and beyond generations of your ancestors. And you've always felt this. And my prayer is for all of us who feel this way, who feel that we are destined to greatness. My prayer is this, that God will give us the character to sustain us where he is taking us. That is a part of my daily prayer. I too feel as if I am destined to do great things. But can I tell you something right now? I'm not all the way ready. God is still showing me some things that I need to work on. I am still being processed. I am still being pruned. I am still being purged. God is showing me characteristics and behaviors and traits and things that I need to work on, character flaws that I need to work on, that without me working on these things, I cannot get to that next level or get to that place of greatness and sustain myself there. Many years ago, I heard a pastor say that your gifts and your will make room for you, but it's your character that will keep you there. So my question to you is this: for those of you who are like, I feel like I'm called to greatness, and God was taking so long, and God, why am I going through this process? So I have a couple of questions for you. I took some notes because I didn't want to leave out anything, but I have a couple questions that I want you to ask yourself, because we have to be real with ourselves. God will reveal. We can ask God to pray and reveal to us ourselves those hidden flaws, those hidden faults, those hidden sins that we have. We should definitely be asking God to, reveal those things to us. But we have to be real with ourselves, and we have to ask ourselves some questions like this: if I got the church today, would I be ready? If I got the multi-million-dollar deal today, would I be ready? If I was called to speak on that platform or on that stage, would I be ready? If I got the part in the movie or the TV show, would I be ready? If I got the contract today or the deal I'm wanting today, would I be ready? Am I ready now? And then ask God, if you're not ready now, what's stopping you from being ready? Is it your character? Are you emotionally mature? Are you physically mature? What about your heart? Is your heart in the right place to receive what you feel like God is wanting to bless you with? Is your heart a forgiving heart, a loving heart, or do you have hatefulness in your heart? Do you have unforgiveness in your heart? Do you have bitterness in your heart? How do you treat God's people? You want to be called to be great and to be famous, but you can't treat the people in your own family or in your own church or in your neighborhood the correct way. How do you treat people? Also, what are your habits like? Are you focused? Are you disciplined? Are you consistent? Or are you easily distracted by phone calls from friends and family members? Are you easily distracted by what's on TV? Or are you easily distracted because you're constantly scrolling through social media? If you want to be a multimillionaire, do you have multimillionaire habits? Do you have a multimillionaire mindset? Do you have a multimillionaire work ethic? Also, what are you speaking to yourself and about your life? So ask yourself this question: is it my language? What am I speaking about myself or my life? Or am I always speaking negatively, saying things like, I can't win for losing, I'm always broke, I can't never catch a break, it seems as if there's always something? My Apostle Brian Meadows once said in a sermon, every new level will require a new language. Every new level will require a new language. Excuse me, guys, I'm getting over a cold. So what that means to me is this: you can't go into a new level speaking the same things about yourself. You can't go into a new level thinking the same things about yourself or your life. God cannot move when you are speaking negatively about yourself. When you do this, you are speaking curses over yourself. And God operates by your words or your actions that exhibit your faith, and not by your words that demonstrate or exhibit curses. And talking about what are you thinking, who or what is in your ear? Those people who are constantly around you, those people influence you. When they're talking to you, it's going through your ear gates, and it's influencing your mind gate and what you're thinking. So who or what is in your ear? What do you watch on TV? Do you read books? What kind of books are you reading? What kind of materials are you reading? What do you listen to? What kind of podcasts do you listen to? What type of TV shows do you watch? We have to be careful about what we put into our gates, eye gates, ear gates, all of our gates. We have to be careful about what we let into our gates, especially when we are transitioning and we're trying to go to a new level. So the final thing that I want to say is this: if we're trying to go to a new level, if we're destined for greatness, called for greatness, and trying to do things that have never been done before, and God is trying to use you to be the blueprint, and there is no blueprint for what God is trying to do in you or through you. If you're trying to do things at that level of greatness, we have to be mindful of the way we think, the way that we speak or talk about ourselves and our lives, the conditions of our heart, our character, our language. We have to be mindful of these things, because all of these things will help us to either sustain or maintain at the level that God is trying to take us, or they will destroy us, simply put. So let me just share one last thing that I say every day in my prayer time. I say this. I say, God, mold me and make me not only in your image, but God, let your thoughts be in my thoughts. Let your mind be in my mind. Let your words be in my mouth. Let your heart be in my heart. I also ask God, I say, God, remove any old ways of thinking, doing, acting, or speaking that are fruitless, that are purposeless, and that will prohibit me from being all that you have called me or created me to be at the level where you are taking me. And remove anything out of me that is not of you. Remove anything out of me that would prohibit me from having, being, and having all that you would want me to have, being all that you would want me to do. And then I decree and declare this over my life. I decree and declare this. I decree and declare that I shall have what God wants me to have. I shall be who God wants me to be. I shall go where God wants me to go, and I shall do what God wants me to do. That's what I decree and declare over my life. So I just wanted to share that this message is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I feel like this is what God wanted me to say to you guys tonight. So like I said, if this message encouraged you, blessed you, inspired you, motivated, pricked you, provoked you, or even made you start to think some different things, and you feel like somebody else needs to hear the message, please do share it. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and be blessed.